This is my Majin Buu token deck. 1 copy of the leader. 4 Majin Buu Unadulterated Destruction. 4 Majin Buu Mighty Absorption. 4 Majin Buu Unadulterated Malice. 4 Majin Buu Absorption Scheme. 4 Majin Buu Thwarting the Enemy. 4 Piccolo Assimilated Ability. 4 Kinko Supreme Ruler. 4 Nappa Super Combo. 4 Homicidal Clones. 4 Dormant Potential Unleashed. 4 Shenron Eternal Spirit. 4 SS3 Vegito Peerless Warrior. 4 Meta Cooler Terrifying Horde. And 1 Majin Buu Kabito Kai Absorbed. So we got the Meta Cooler Unison, which can automatically generate 15k power tokens. So definitely can help us go wide real easily. As well as we have the 4-drop Mighty Absorption Buu, which has the active main limit 1 Spirit Boost effect of making a 15k token. 15k power token. By just removing a marker from a unison. And, we obviously have a couple unisons we could choose from, but the main one we like to combine this card with is our Shenron Eternal Spirit, because of the fact that we do the +2 ability to give it 2 markers, of course. Then we remove one of those markers for a Spirit Boost of Majin Buu Mighty Absorption, so we can make a token, something 15k token we could attack with, and then this will trigger Shenron's auto, which will turn into a block until the end of your opponent's next turn. So that way you create a sword with this, and you have a shield with this. This also could combine with the leader's Spirit Boost effect, so that way you can turn this into a blocker as well as trigger the leader's ability. So there's synergy there with those 2 cards. And the way this deck works is that most of the cards in your deck has the ability to help you get Majin Buu Mighty Absorption out. So each your main card, you want to get them out, you want a Spirit Boost and make tokens, because you're trying to take advantage of just attacking mainly with your tokens over and over and over again. And of course we have Nappa to go with it, so we can turn the tokens into 25k attackers. So that's pretty simple, basic, straightforward. And there's a lot of defensive cards in here. Obviously we got potential burn through Vegito's -7 ability. So we got a lot of defensive cards in this deck. Defense, defense, defense. Even the ultimates is a defensive card. The 5-drop also defensive if it's in rest mode. So pretty strong defensive deck. Leader auto, once per turn, place 1 card in your life under this card. When this card attacks, draw 2 cards. So when you swing, once per turn, take a card from your life, put it on this card in order to draw 2 cards. So that's some good card advantage right there. Plus you are, filling this, you're guaranteeing there's a card under this card for when you play, your 1-drop Buu, for example, because he has a Union Absorb, and you would choose a card under your Majin Buu leader, place it on this card, and then bring out your Majin Buu Mighty Absorption, and automatically have this out there ready to roll, ready to do its thing. And all you have to do is play Unison and start Spirit Boosting. And start generating your tokens and start swinging away with tokens. Alright. Then this has the active main, once per turn, Spirit Boost 1. Remove 1 marker from a Unison. To place up to 1 battle card with an energy cost of 4 or less in your opponent's drop area under this card. So it's another way of putting cards under this card. And then choose up to one of the chosen card's keyword skills, and this card gains that for the turn. So for example, dual attack, double strike, triple strike, quadruple strike, stuff like that. Blocker will be obviously pointless. Revenge would be pointless. Let's see what are the keyword skills. There's a lot of keyword skills to be pointless. Obviously, you want to go for the, you know, triple attack, dual attack, you know, triple strike, double strike, you know, quadruple strike, stuff like that. Anything that can help you attack more or deal more damage are the keywords you're looking for. If there is another alliance, might be a keyword you can try to take advantage of. Because this deck is, you know, does have green in it, so alliance could be a potential keyword skill you can try using. You get the idea. But we definitely want to hit double strikes and, you know, and dual attacks, because being able to attack more than once is always awesome, right? And then to awaken, when your life is at 4 or less, you draw a card and switch one of your energies to active mode. On the awaken side, auto, once per turn when this card attacks, draw a card. Has the active main, once per turn, spirit boost. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 4 or less in their battle area or drop area. Let me double check something, because right in the front, with energy 4 or less in their, yeah. So the front only did the drop area, but the awaken side does the battle area and drop area. So you got options there, which is nice. And place it under this card. Choose up to one of your opponent's chosen cards, keyword skills, and then gain it for the turn. Obviously, what's nice about this doing on the field, of course, is that, you know, just by removing one marker, you can, you know, get rid of a problematic battle card that your opponent has. It doesn't ignore barriers, so there's that. Keep that in mind. But this is good against anything that doesn't have barrier, like a blocker or something, so you can get a block, take a blocker out the way, which is always good. And then that's why it'd be badass if this had the ability to keep the skill until the end of your opponent's next turn. Woo! Because then you'll take blockers, and then, you know, you could protect some of your cards with just using the leader to block. But anyway, but then revenge would be a thing. Second active main, once per turn, place 2 cards under this card into the owner's drop area. This card gains 5k power for the until the start of your next main phase. So that's pretty cool. So you can turn it into a 20k attacker just by removing, placing 2 cards under this to the drop. Let's see. So the 5 drop, deflect, revenge, which is nice as revenge, so it protects itself. Permanent, while this card is in rest mode, your opponent can't attack your leader cards unless they choose 2 cards in their hand and discards them each time. So it has like a built-in topo. So imagine using this and then also playing this in the same turn, because this will make it where your opponent discards 2 cards every time they attack. This will make it if they attack the leader, they discard 2 cards, so they could potentially discard 4 cards just trying to hit your leader. So if you use these 2 together, you have that little strategy right there, so it's nice. And of course this has revenge, so you know, if your opponent wants to attack it, go ahead. It's a 30k with revenge. Take your chances. As the first auto, when this card is played from your hand, choose all other non-token cards in all battle areas and all union cards, ignoring barrier, negate their skills, and place them into the owner's drop area. So it's a board wipe. So it's a 5 cost board wipe, and it doesn't hurt your tokens, right? So that's always awesome. So you still have your tokens to keep swinging with. It ignores barrier, negates skills, which is awesome, very powerful right there. And then into drop it, your opponent chooses 2 cards in their hand and discards them. And if your leader card is mono green, Majin card, place those cards that they discarded, by the way, under your leader card. double checking because there's a pair. So the 2 cards they discard is what you put under your leader, which is good because then you can use your leader as a second active main to place them into the drop area to get the 5k boost. So there's synergy there with that. And this effect is typically good, grabbing stuff from the drop area and put it under your leader, so that way your opponent can't do some graveyard type of shenanigans, like against dark. This type of effects are useful against dark Broly, so keep that in mind. And then the second auto, if you have 5 or more energy, if this card is placed into your drop area from your battle area by an opponent's skill, play this card from your drop area. So it makes it where your opponent will have, and this is not a once per turn effect, so every time your opponent places this to the drop area from the battle area through a skill, it'll just keep coming back. Doesn't come back in rest mode, so you can put it back in active mode, obviously. And of course, when this card is, but it says when this card is played from the hand, so you don't get that board wipe ability when it comes back from its second auto. So keep that in mind. You only get the first auto when you play it from the hand. And then of course the second auto, it brings it back. It doesn't bring it back in rest mode. It would be badass if it did though, but it doesn't bring it back in rest mode. Which means you won't get your permanent. Your permanent requires this to be in rest mode in order for your leader to have the whole. Your opponent attacks your leader, they have to discard 2 cards. So keep that in mind. But once it hits the field, it'll, it has a way of sticking to the field, right? Your opponent can obviously get rid of this through attacking, but it does have revenge, so that's something they have to worry about. Majin Buu Mighty Absorption. You could evolve it on top of a gold tanks for 1 energy. We don't have any of those. Permanent, if this card would be removed from your battle area by your opponent's skill, you may choose one of your Majin Buu tokens from the and remove it from the game in order to keep them in play. So that's nice to have, some form of protection. And then auto, when this card is played, add up to 1 green unison card with a 1,000 power from your deck to your hand. Shuffle your deck, and if you look through it, if you added a card, choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. We don't have anything like that. The only thing we have here this week is 4,000, so we don't have a target for that. And then the active main, limit 1, Spirit Boost 1, which allows us to make a Majin Buu token, and then we can add up to 1 card from our life to our hand if we want, but we're just going to straight up make a token with 15k power, 0 cost, 5k combo power. So that's a thing. And as one of our main strategies is to make tokens with this, turn this into a blocker so we can have some added reusable defense on top of all the other defense cards we have here. Majin Buu Adulterated Malice, counter attack. If your leader card is green, negate the attack, play this card. If you played a card, choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. If your opponent can't attack, for the turn unless they choose 2 cards in their hands and discard them each time. Has Union Absorb once per turn. Choose 1 card under your Majin Buu leader and place it under this card. Play up to 1 mono green Majin Buu card with an energy cost of 4 and 15k power from your deck or drop area on top of this card. Shuffle your deck if you look through it. So this is one way we can obviously play out our Majin Buu Mighty Absorption from our deck or drop area, and then be able to use it to do its thing of being able to make tokens. So we can have our token generating engine. We have Majin Buu Absorption Scheme. As Union Absorb once per turn, choose one card under your leader, put it under this card. Play up to one mono green Majin Buu card with 4 cost and 15k power from your deck or drop area, and shuffle your deck if you look through it. Auto, when this card is played, draw 1 card. So when you play this card, you'll draw a card, so it replaces itself, and then once you do the Union Absorb, bring out your 4-drop, and then you can use your 4-drop obviously to start spirit boosting to start making tokens. So we got 2 cards that can help us cheat out our 4-drop. We have Majin Buu thwarting the enemy. Counter attack limit 1. If your leader cards renegate the attack and play this card in rest mode. If you negated a leader card's attack with this skill, your opponent can't attack with their leader card for the rest of the turn. So this comes in handy against any battle card that could any leader card that could potentially attack more than once. So that's good against that. Permanent, you can activate this card's skill from your hand without paying its energy cost by spirit boosting 2 instead. So removing 2 markers from a unison, you could play this card for free 1 time. So free negates is always good. Then we have Piccolo, Assimilated Ability, Barrier, Active Battle Ability once per turn, Bond 2. So you have to have another battle card in play. So in order to trigger this, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 5 or less and KO it. If you KO with a card, draw a card. So you can use this on your turn, you know, when you battle, and you can use it on your opponent's turn when they battle. So you can use it offensively and defensively. So you can use it to get rid of a blocker, obviously. And, no, I said that wrong. Because blocker happens before active battle. But you can use this to get rid of any problematic battle cards. Mainly you'll use this defensively, but you can obviously, you know, use it on your turn to get rid of a battle card, just so your opponent don't have the battle card to swing at you with. But you definitely will want to use this mainly on your opponent's turn to defend your leader, as well as you know, you get to draw a card for it. So you're plussing your your opponent is minusing, so that's always good. King Ko, Supreme Ruler. Counter attack, negate the attack and play this card. Permanent, reduce this card. This part doesn't matter. Auto, when this card is played, your opponent can't attack leader cards for the turn unless they choose one card from the hand and send it to drop area every time. So it's another way of protecting our leader from being attacked and reducing our opponent's hand size. So there's a good amount of hand control in here. Nappa, Demolition Man, super combo with it. At the end of the battle, play this card from your drop, and of course it won't be in rest mode, so you could combo it from your battle area afterwards. So you could give 10k combo power for free to 2 potential attackers, you know. For example, if you could use this with the leader. For example, if you use the leader to gain dual attack, right, and you swing, combo Nappa, make him stronger, restand, right, the battle will be over, Nappa hits the field, swing the second time, and then combo Nappa on the field to the leader and get another 10k. So it's a way to make sure off of one super combo you can have the leader, you know, swing twice with let's say on the Awakened side, swing twice with 25k. Of course, we like to use this with the tokens to turn the tokens into 25k beaters, which forces our opponent, if they're on their Awakened side, to in order to out combo, they would need 15k combo power to out combo our 25k swings. Then we got Homicidal Clones, counter attack, leader card is mono green, negate the attack, play 1 meta token with 5k power, 0 cost 5k combo power, and gains blockers. So you could potentially stop 2 attacks with this card. Permanent, when your life is 5 or less, you can activate this counter skill for by adding 1 card from your life to your hand and play this for free. And of course, if you, this is not once per turn, so if you have multiple copies of this card and you have enough life points, enough life to pay the cost of this effect, you can play multiple copies and potentially stop up to 4 attacks if you have 2 copies of these, for example. So you can stop multiple attacks in a single turn. Dormant Potential Unleashed. Counter attack if your leader card is mono green, which it is. Choose any number of your opponent's battle cards that add up to the total energy cost of 2 or less and KO them. Additionally, you may choose 1 green card in your hand and discard it. If you do, your opponent can only attack once more this turn. Permanent, if you have a green unison card in play, you can activate this card's counter skill for free without paying this energy cost. So free Floodgate Negate if you have a green unison. Shenron Eternal Spirit. Permanent, this card cannot attack. Although when you remove a marker from this card using a Spirit Boost skill, it gains blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. Has the +2 active main ability of choosing 1 card from your hand, either discard it or place it at the bottom of your deck to draw a card. And that's all we're mainly going to be doing with this card, is giving it the +2 marker, and then removing a marker in order to Spirit Boost with the leader or Spirit Boost with Majin Absorption, or both. Right? Get both the leader and your 4-drops abilities off and just go in on multiple attacks, especially if you're grabbing a whole bunch of dual attackers. The leader attacking twice, the tokens attacking. You could even potentially attack with this as well, since this will be a blocker. In the process, you can use this to protect this if you need to, and go from there. Just depends how you want to play it. Then we have Yugioh, Peerless Warrior. Once per turn, when you activate a Union skill, draw 1 card. And this is Union Absorb. This is Union Absorb. So you should be able to draw a card every time you do that. Once per turn. So that's useful. Then we have the +2 ability. Choose all of your mono green battle cards and they gain revenge until the start of your next turn. So this is a good way of making your your battle cards dangerous, right? Especially if you do swing with your Majin Buu Mighty Absorption. You might want to give it revenge in case your opponent decides they want to attack it. And of course you get 2 markers with this, so you'll give revenge, remove one of the markers, make a token, swing with the token, swing with this, and since this will have revenge if your opponent does attack it, they're only hurting themselves. Plus you can always bring this back with any of your 1 or 2 drop Majin Buus. Bring it back from the drop and then just make another token and just go from there and do revenge again and just keep on going on a nice little engine. Then has the -7 ability. If your leader card is mono green, which it is, look at your opponent's life. Place 1 card among them into the drop area, so essentially burn, right? Then your opponent shuffles their life and chooses 3 cards in their hand and discards it. So this is further hand control right there, which will weaken your opponent to the point where your tokens, if you have a lot of them, should be able to bypass your opponent's ability to out combo and negate and stuff like that, and hit your opponent's life. Then we have Metal Cooler, Terrifying Horde. Active main. Once per turn, if your leader card is mono green, which it is, play 1 Metal Cooler token with a 15k power, 0 cost combo, 5k combo power. Has the +1 ability. Active main, you may choose 1 card in your hand, discard it, and if you do, draw 2 cards. So this, along with the leader's ability, you could be drawing a whole bunch of cards. Obviously, you're getting the +1 that you can use for Spirit Boost for the leader's effect, and you're getting a free token right off. Just by having this in play, you're getting free tokens out of it. So it just adds to your token generating capabilities of the deck. So you're swarming, your ability to just keep making 15Ks you can keep attacking your opponent with. And you know, drawing is always good to do, right? Hand advantage is key for people. And then it has the -4 ability, which lets you play 3 metal cooler tokens with 15k power. So a play you can do with this, pretty basic play, is play this for 4 energy, so that way it has 4 markers, right? Then do the active main, making a token, swing with a token, swing with this, so that's 2 15Ks right there. Then do the -4 ability, make 3 more tokens, swing with those 3 tokens, and right there's 5 attacks off of 1 unison play. So for 4 energy you can get 5 15k attackers. Not to mention the fact that you can still swing with the leader, and if the leader, let's say, has dual attack, then you can do potentially 7 damage in a single, on a single turn. So a single turn 4 7 damage combo right there, just with this unison and the leader having dual attack. So gotta love the ability to just pop out multiple attacks in a single shot. And then we get the Majin Buu Kibito Kai Absorbed Ultimate Double Strike 40k. Permanent, if this card removed from the battle area, removed from the game instead. Auto Spirit Boost 2. When this card is played from your hand, choose one of your opponent's unison cards and gain control of it. So the ability to steal unison cards is always good. Active main / battle ability. This is the main way you'll want to play this card. Is pay 2 green energy, play this card from your hand, during battle, and your opponent can't attack with battle cards for the turn. So you definitely would like to use this defensively. You could use it offensively, of course, but you definitely want to be able to use this defensively. So to play this out, get this trigger, get this card's ability to remove 2 markers from a unison in order to steal your opponent's unison. And take advantage of whatever unison your opponent has, especially if their unison is a blocker. You definitely want to steal their blocker unison and take advantage of that, especially if it has the ability to gain markers, so you can keep Spirit boosting, but it's also a blocker, and just all types of good fun stuff. So it's nice, the ability to steal a unison, because your opponent might have a really good unison you want. It might have a Mecha Kabor. That's a blocker unison that has some really good effects, so you definitely want to steal that with this. And then you can use the Mecha Kabora unison to steal something else from your opponent. So all that good stuff. And that's the end of the video.